Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you some designer fragrances that I don't talk about very much, but I think are such fantastic fragrances, and they don't get enough love on my channel or anyone else's channel these days because they've been out for a while. I have 7 fragrances for you, and some of them are just ride or die. They're fantastic fragrances, but nobody really talks about them anymore because we're just so hung up on talking about the latest and greatest. And I see that as being almost like it's almost inevitable because the perfume world has exploded. But the issue with it is that we always get into this place of fear of missing out when there are fantastic fragrances on our own collection that we are not making use of. I was listening to a content creator on Instagram. I can't remember his name, but I really appreciated what he was saying. And he was talking about the fact that the community is becoming a little bit toxic when we are talking about spending hundreds, if not thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars on collections and going into debt to do so. The bottom line is that this should be a fun hobby, and everybody has a different price point that they look at with fragrances. They have a ceiling. A lot of times when you have a budget, you have a ceiling, you have your wishes that you might save for, but you have a ceiling or a cap. It varies from person to person on what they value. Some people's ceiling or cap might be on creativity and artistry, so they might want to go with a niche fragrance that's a little bit more pricey. Other ones, their ceiling is like $35 and they want a lot of different fragrances, but they're not willing to spend more than $35. There's other people that kind of want to stick in the designer realm because a lot of times you can sniff those in store. So there's so many different values, and I really recognize the legitimacy of each one of those values. That's part of the reason why I try to give you a mixture of content from niche to Middle Eastern to designer. So today we are talking about excellent designer fragrances, and the beauty of designer fragrances right now is that a lot of times you can get them online. The prices have crept up in person, but you can go sniff the perfumes and then you can buy them on FragranceNet or different places like that. I am not sponsored at all by FragranceNet. It's just the one that I tend to link the most. FragranceNet or Fragrance X is what I tend to focus on, primarily because my largest audience is in the States. There's FragranceNet, Fragrance X, there's Perfume Online, which is Canadian, Fragrance Buy, which is Canadian. All these companies ship to both nations. So, you can use whichever one you love the most. But as per usual, they'll all be linked down below. But before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Become part of the celebratory community of the weird and wonderful family. It would be great to have you part of the community. And let's get into this. So the first fragrance, I'm so excited about this one because I wanted this one forever. And my good friend Lori, she gave me a hand-me-down, and it is Poison Girl by Dior. I love this fragrance. It smells almondy, it's sweet, it's warm, it's sensual. The primary notes in this one for me is the orange, there's rose, there's a lot of almond in here, along with some tonka and vanilla. There's many other notes, but that's primarily what I get. I definitely get an orange, but a very warm, sweet orange. In the opening, I get a floral. It doesn't smell quite like rose to me. There's more orange blossom. Actually, this does have orange blossom. So I'd say the orange blossom comes out the most, but it's like a mixture. So I find orange blossom to be kind of fluffy and a little bit more airy, whereas rose is a little bit deep. So the combination of those two is just beautiful. And then definitely a good dose of almond, vanilla, tonka. So the warm, kind of thicker, syrupy sweetness. I just think this is beautiful. If you love Girl of Now by Elie Saab, just imagine Girl of Now with added rose and a sweet kind of juicy orange. That is what this is. So you're getting the warmth of the nuts, the sweetness of the vanilla, the syrupiness of like a really, really juicy sweet orange. And then the florals in this. This to me is so beautiful. It's like you're enveloped in this gorgeous scent bubble. So I really enjoy this one. and nobody talks about it anymore. But it's a really, really great fragrance, lasts a decent amount of time on the skin, gives a nice scent bubble, and I think it's glorious. Next one, I just mentioned it recently. It's hard to find now. I did find a gift set with a 50 ml of this fragrance, I think it is, in a lotion, so I'll leave that down below, but it's basically non-existent anymore. Honestly, if you can snap it up before it's gone, this is such a beautiful rose caramel fragrance. What's cool about this fragrance is that it was created by Francis Kurkdjian. So, you know, we're always talking about Francis Kurkdjian and his amazing creations. Well, this is an affordable version of one of his creations, and it's literally beautiful. It's one of the best rose caramel fragrances that I've smelled. There's one recently that I've smelled that I'll be talking about soon. It definitely is now my new love, but this one is definitely right up there. It's so beautiful. I'm going to read you the notes. This has pink pepper, peach, and pear in the opening. In the heart, it has rose, raspberry, white flowers, and jasmine. And the base is caramel, benzoin, amber, vanilla, musk, patchouli, and cedar. So it's definitely a rose fragrance. Definitely get the raspberry. Definitely get the caramel in there. This is very, very feminine, very sensual, slightly powdery, sweet again, but not too sweet. This to me is the epitome of a beautiful feminine perfume. So lately I've been really loving perfumey type perfumes. So not gourmand, but fragrances that are blended so beautiful that they don't smell like a floral or a this or a that. They just smell like a beautiful smelling smell. So for me, Mango Oud by Gritty is one of those fragrances. This also is one of those fragrances. So it's just beautifully composed. It creates this gorgeous scent bubble and sillage, and I love it. I love it, and I wish that they wouldn't have discontinued it. So get it while you can. If you want to smell like a very put together luxe feminine woman, this is perfection. The next designer fragrance that nobody talks about anymore, but I think is such a great gem, is Azzaro Wanted Girl. So I just have a teeny weeny one. This fragrance has a little bit of a lactonic creamy vibe along with major syrupy sweetness again, and a little bit of floral. I'm going to read you the notes. It has ginger, orange blossom, pink pepper, and pomegranate in the opening. In the heart is dulce de leche and datura flower, and then the base is tonka bean, patchouli, and vetiver. So I definitely get the ginger, I get the orange blossom, I get that caramelly kind of creaminess from the dulce de leche. There's a bit of a almost tropical vibe of this. I don't really get the patchouli. I don't really get the vetiver. I definitely get tonka. And to me, this is a non-nutty version of something like this. So if you don't like the almond, this has the caramel instead. So I just think this is sweet. It's flirty. This is a great date night fragrance. And again, it projects beautifully. One of the things that I find with a lot of designer fragrances is they leave a great scent bubble, trail, projection, all of that kind of stuff. So really enjoy wearing this one. It's mood boosting, it's fun, it's a little bit flirty. It doesn't give the grown woman vibe that this one does, but it's just really fun. So when you want to pick me up fun, flirty fragrance, this one's great. Next designer fragrance that I think is so fantastic and worth a mention is honestly La Vie est Belle by Lancome. Now I know everybody poo-poos this fragrance, but seriously, if you want a workhorse of a fragrance that men love, La Vie est Belle is a great option. It lasts forever. Men always love this fragrance, so it makes a great date night fragrance. It's great because it projects in the cold, and this one has been around forever. Now there's many renditions of this. They've got a ton of flankers. They come out with a flanker, it seems, every year. Some of the ones in recent years that I've really been in love with. I love La Vie est Belle L'Eclat. That one's hard to find. I love La Vie est Belle en Rose. That one's beautiful. I have both of those as well. La Vie Belle L'Elixir came out in 2024. That is my favorite La Vie Belle. I still want it. It has violet leaf, raspberry, and a little bit of liquor in it, and I just think it's a stunning fragrance. It's a kind of a modern take on this DNA. Honestly, I don't think it smells very similar, but it's still a gorgeous fragrance, excellent longevity. But going back to the original, honestly, the DNA of this has done extremely well for a reason. I'm going to read you the notes. It has black currant and pear in the top. In the heart, it has iris, jasmine, and orange blossom. And the base is praline, vanilla, patchouli, and tonka bean. For me, this is another fragrance where it's kind of just a perfume. This is definitely patchouli heavy, definitely very sweet. So you have to like patchouli, you have to like sweet, but it's a beautiful kind of powdery, feminine, nectar-like fragrance that gets you major compliments. Like, I've never worn this and not gotten a compliment, honestly, even though it's not considered a popular fragrance these days. Seriously, it's beautiful. You need to try it. Go in, spray it on, and see what happens. Like I said, my favorite is the 2024 version currently. That's one that I'm really wanting to get. But this old OG one is honestly fantastic. Another one is Viktor&Rolf's Flowerbomb Midnight. Viktor&Rolf Flowerbomb fragrances are other ones that have been around for a while, and so it's kind of like, that's the old thing. But honestly, they're all great, and so many of them have been fantastic releases. I love this one. I loved Flowerbomb Nectar. It had a gunpowder note in it that was just stellar. I really want to try the new one. I like the Tiger Lily one, but the Midnight one is the one that I have. This has black currant and pomegranate in the opening. In the heart is night blooming jasmine and peony, and then the base is musk and vanilla. I love black currant. And this is just beautiful. Like, it's got that beautiful black currant along with the pomegranate, so a little bit of tart fruitiness in the opening. You get those florals for sure, and it feels very fluffy and sweet, more peony-esque than anything. And then in the dry down, of course, you do get some muskiness along with that vanilla. This one is an easy wear, easy reach, great fragrance for every day. Love it. Next one is L'Interdit Rouge. This is my favorite L'Interdit. To me, this is the sexiest L'Interdit. This just smells like a sexy root beer somehow. There's something a little bit spicy, a little bit mysterious. This is a very niche smelling designer fragrance. It smells very rich, opulent, slightly different. The notes are ginger and blood orange in the top. In the heart, it has tuberose, jasmine, and pimento leaf. And then the base is sandalwood, patchouli, and vetiver. So the pimento leaf and the ginger kind of creates a little bit of a spicy, zingy quality. The orange, it smells like muddled down with the florals. And then like sandalwood, the patchouli's coming out for sure. The sandalwood and the vetiver. This is just uber sexy. And it just seems to get sexier and sexier as it dries down on the skin. And it goes through all sorts of stages. So at first it's a little bit spicy. For like about an hour, it gets a bit weird. And then it turns into this spicy, sexy root beer fragrance. So for me, this is more of a date night fragrance, or if I'm going shopping and I want to smell all sexy and mysterious, this would be the fragrance I would choose. It's a great fragrance, long lasting. I love it. And the last one, I have to mention it because it is a male favorite, and honestly, I think males should try wear this fragrance, and it is Alien by Thierry Mugler. Now, I have the original, like, Thierry Mugler version. I don't wear this very often, but when I do, I just love myself. Like, I just absolutely love it. This is another fragrance that is a compliment magnet from guys. It's hard to explain. It's got jasmine, it's got amber, some woodiness in it, but it's just so sexy. Yeah, so sexy. The jazz, like it's beautiful. There's a warmth to it with that amber. It's got some depth with those woods. The jasmine is not too jasmine-y, bordering on soapy at times, and then other times so sexy. This is one of the sexiest fragrances that you could ever go for. And they tried to make flankers, and the best flanker of this which I liked actually better than this, was Alien Essence Absolute. That is a gorgeous, like, incensey, myrrh, darker version of this. Like it's like the, almost like the evil queen of the Alien fragrances. It's gorgeous. A little bit darker, a little bit sexier, but this is already so sexy. Like, how much more sexy could you get than uber sexy? But this is like seriously, it still smells current. It definitely attracts the male species. Like, they love this smell. This is my dad's favorite fragrance. Like, when he smells this, he just loves it. But this is a fragrance that I don't think should just be reserved for women. I think all these fragrances anyone can wear, but males should definitely try this fragrance because I think it would smell gorgeous on a guy. But honestly, this is one of the, it's a masterpiece. I think that this is a masterpiece. Honestly, these three are masterpieces. This DNA has so many flankers because this was a masterpiece. Everybody fell in love with it back in 2012, and it was a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece that is discontinued, sadly, and it breaks my heart because it's such a phenomenal fragrance. It smells like the way a woman should smell. And then this is a masterpiece for the same reason. Flankers still going strong. Is such a gorgeous fragrance. It was cutting edge back in the day, and even now I still enjoy wearing Alien. What about you? What are some designer fragrances that you absolutely love? I rarely talk about these just because I've talked about them a lot in the past, so I kind of end up talking about the newer stuff, but I think it's really important that we talk about kind of those older fragrances that are so solid, so worth your coin. These ones will not disappoint. So what about you? What are the ones that you think are just solid, excellent designer fragrances that should be noted by people? Let's not ignore all these awesome fragrances that have been out for a while. To me, they need to keep their place because they're so fantastic. So what about you? What are your fantastic designer fragrances that you just can't do without? Leave it in the comments. I would love to know. And other than that, have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.